friends, welcome to Maths Medicine, hashtag MMA. In this video, we are going to be learning the square root of numbers. You know, over time I've been wondering how we can find the square root of a larger number in an easy way without using LCM method and the rest of them. And I've come to realize that there are means that you can use to find the square root of a very big number. Now, before we start talking about the square root of numbers, I want you to know that square root is the inverse of square. So when you talk about the square of a number, the square of a number is the inverse of the square root of another number. Now, let's write this down so that we use it on the board. We have square of 1 is equals 1. That is 1 times 1 will give us 1. Square of 2, that is 2 times 2 will give us 4. Square of 3 is 9. Square of 4, 16. Square of 5, 25. Square of 6, 36. Square of 7 is 49. Square of 8, 64. And square of 9 is 81. Square of 10 is 100. But let's not talk about that. Okay, let's start solving the examples and see how we can actually use this to find the square root of numbers. Let's start with the examples. The first question there, the square root of 196. Now we have 6 as the last number. So the question you should ask yourself is, from the square of numbers we have here, which one has 6 at the unit side? That is 4 and 6. So we have 4 and 6. After that, because we are working with 3-digit numbers, you work with the first one, leaving these 2 behind. And the first number we have there is 1. From the square of numbers, which one will give us 1 or something close to 1? That is the square of 1. So we go for 1, which means 1 will be the first number you will have when you square 196. Now after that, 1. If you are counting 1, 2, 3, if you're counting numbers, after 1 comes 2. So you multiply 1 by 2. 1 times 2 will give us 2. This one you are looking at is less than 2. And remember, we have 2 numbers here that has 6 as the units at the unit side. And since 1 is less than 2, so we are going to choose from these 2 numbers, you choose the less number, the one that is smaller. And the smallest number here is 4, or the smaller number here is 4. So we go for 4. That is to say that the square root of 196 is 14. Okay, let's solve another example so that you understand this better. The square root of 814, 1. Remember the first thing to do, and remember this as well. When you are solving 3-digit numbers, you work with this one, the first number at the 100 side, and leave these 2 behind. But before you leave these 2 behind, the last number we have here is 1. So you go to the square of numbers. Which one has 1 at the unit side? That is 1 and 9. You have your 1 and you have your 9. Then you cross these 2 out. This one is small, this one is bigger than this one. So let's work with our 8 now. From the square of numbers, which one will give you a number that is close to 8 or a number that is 8? If you look at this now, we don't have 8 here. But after this one, after the square of 2 that gave us 4, we have 9. That is the square of 3. 9 is bigger than 8, so we can't work with it. So we go for 4. Square of 2 is 4. So you choose 2. You have your 2. Sorry. You have your 2. Now, when you're counting 1, 2, 3, counting numbers, after 2 comes 3. So you have 2 times 3. And 2 times 3 will give us 6. 8 is bigger than 6. And because 8 is bigger than 6, you will now choose the bigger number from these 2 now. Remember, we have 1 and 9. So you choose the bigger number. The bigger number here is 9. So you have 9 here. Which means the square root of 841 is 29. Okay, let's go over to example C. That is 27, square root of 2,704. Now we are working with 4-digit numbers. 4-digit numbers. At this point, you are going to ignore these two, the same way you ignored 2 numbers here. And then you work with these 2. Now, let's continue. Remember, the last number we have here is 4. So you check the square of numbers. Which one has 4 at the unit side? We have 2 and 8. So you have 2 and 8. So you cross these 2 out the same way. Now looking at the square of numbers, which one will give us 27 or something close to 27? There is no 27 in the square of numbers, but we have 25. 36 is bigger than 27, so we can't use it. So let's go for 25, that is 5. Which means the first number will be 5. After that, you have 5. After 5 in counting numbers is 6. You have 5 times 6, which is equals 30. Now looking at this, 27 is less than 30. So what do you think we are going to choose? We are going to choose the smaller number, and the smaller number is 2. So let's choose 2, which means the square root of 2,704 is equals 52. Let's solve the very last example. I'm going to manage this board now so that I will not erase this side. Square of 2025. Now the question you will ask yourself is this. From these numbers now, we have 5 here. From the the square of numbers, which one has 5 at the unit side? And it's 5. So we have our 5, only 5. Only 5. You write it down here. Cross this 2. Now, from the square of numbers, which one will give us 20 or something close to 20, but not bigger than 20? And that is 4. You have your 4 as the first number, and of course we have only 5 here, so 5 should be here. That is to say that the square root of 2025 is equals 45. And that is that. There is nothing else to check or nothing else not to check. Thanks for watching this video, and please practice more in your free time. Thank you.